Sukkur IBA's MBA program is different from most of the universities in Pakistan because of the new different pedagogical instruments that we apply in our MBA programs, such as case study, simulations, and experiential learnings. Well, case study is a very strong pedagogical device to provoke deep discussions of students that result in practical solutions of the real world. In case studies, we let our students feel as the executives of the real business organizations, where they are given opportunities to make decisions making and come to optimal solutions.
I'm pretty much into the philosophy of this MBA program as a whole. We can talk about the history of that MBA program, how it started in the world, starting from the UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, their Wharton Business School. They came into the region to train the managers, local managers who can work for Canadian and American firms after the British firms, British legacy. But yet there was the problem. They were simply buying, imitating, blind imitation was there, right? So we need concrete applications of the things. How to apply those knowledge, those packets of knowledge actually. But this is not about the application of those packet of knowledge. We have our own regional business structure, let's say set cultured organizations, small businesses. We have to produce something which can be counted as our own best practices rather than hired or buyed best practices.
The focus of our MBA program is to cater the market needs, not only current but also the future needs. As we know that the future and current landscape of education is changing so dramatically that we have to update our curricula accordingly.
The important thing is to understand why case study methodology is important, and for this I will try and share with you two critical points. One is a recent study that was given in 2019, and on the average, close to about 80% of the businessmen who were questioned as to what kind of skills, what kind of attitudes did a businessman want in a graduate, they said, number one, he should have a major positive attitude. Secondly, they wanted a person who can think critically. Now, these 2 points I will cover in terms of what is being done in the case study method in IBA Sukkur University, and show that there is a very important opportunity available to students to be able to fit with not only the Pakistani environment but also the external environment, and we know CPEC is going to be able to create those logics. And this is directly connected with a latest article which has been published in New York Times, the newspaper, where it has been categorically stated that in the coming years, students or graduates who are going to join the businesses are not going to be required to know something. What they need to know is how to learn, work, learn, which means that students will be required to change their careers a number of times given the opportunities that are coming in, and therefore they do not need to really understand what to think but to how to think. Now, these cases that we use in our case study course are not only confined to the international system, which gives you a picture or a kind of a broad overview of what is going on in the international systems, but we also use Pakistani cases developed in-house, as well as we locate them in a number of journals which are normally linking up with the emerging economies.
So what we are doing, actually, we are trying to find out what are the current key important issues and problems that the business world is facing right now. So we ask our highly trained faculty to find out all the case studies relevant to those issues, but they use the frameworks, the methodologies, all the logic behind solving all those problems and other ethical dilemmas. MBA program's focus is to enhance managerial skills at the top level. Actually, in the MBA program, we start with the orientation program. Those graduates whose background is non-business, what we do, we give them a comprehensive, compact business knowledge.
We've been sourcing people from IBA, Sukkur. IBA has been one of the phenomenal institutes in Pakistan, I should say, especially in the Sukkur region and Sindh. The people that we source, generally MBAs for our plant, have stood out, I mean, in every respect of their career with us so far. Not just that they have been phenomenal in terms of the kind of education they have been getting from IBA. They are also very poised and looking forward to achieving bigger positions in future, which I would say has been so very good about IBA Sukkur.
So at the time of the start, when we were introducing MBA program, which is especially based on the case study method, so we had a limitation that we did not have a number of courses. Those could be taught on research-based methods. So we come up with a very comprehensive course which was introduced at Harvard University, which is called Microeconomics for Competitiveness. And this course was developed by a very famous professor, Michael Porter, and based on the diamond model which he actually introduced globally.
I'm an empowered woman. I have freedom of choice and actions to take my own decision. And this is one of the best decisions of my life to select SIBA in pursuing my MBA case study. My career goal is to become an entrepreneur. If I talk about campus and hostel life, it is very secure, safe and very supporting environment. We have people on campus who listen to our problems and issues and extend their support in both academic and administrative affairs.
It's a very lively and exciting life here at SIBA. I say that because I have a couple of reasons. I mean, obviously we're going to talk about academics as well, but first let's start with how's the life due to the environment and the children are out here. So I like the diversity at SIBA. SIBA is not a monolith. It's not just a group of people from one province. We have people from every province. I like that. We get to learn a lot from all kinds of cultures and all kinds of educational backgrounds. Second important thing personally for me would be the greenery, because my prior experience of studies has been in Islamabad. So I really like the campus because it's very green. The third thing, the administration out here at SIBA, it's very cooperative, at least with us. It was. My experience has been good. I'm living at the hostel inside the campus, which was my priority. And when I started it, I thought it might be a little tough, but I actually enjoyed it because my personal interests have been ranging from all these big tech companies and how the world works. So I really like knowing about how the ins and outs of Amazon and Tesla and Facebook and all that, and not just from internet or unverified sources. We get to study cases from Harvard University.
And what we have done, we have embedded every course with our financial lab, and also we have the behavioral lab, recently newly updated lab, where the students are given opportunity to apply the behavioral things in the lab. So how the behavior is measured, we have developed such labs that offer them opportunities to practically know such problems and solve those problems.
Case study program is unique in such a way that it offers practical exposure and insights of the industry. Unlike other students, the students of MBA case study programs are offered final year project which expose them with different practices, industry trends and practical exposure. They used to work with different FMCGs, manufacturing units, service sector and also some financial institutions. At CDC, we are determined to provide them best possible ways to bridge the gap between industry and academia. Day in and out, Team CDC is making this happen by arranging multiple seminars, industrial trips, and arranging on-campus and off-campus recruitment drives and also arranging a yearly job fair with more than 40 national and multinational organizations. This all is to add more value to the placement process of our graduates.
I'm working with KPMG, an audit and professional services firm, as Executive Director in Forensics, specializing in anti-money laundering and sanctions. I've lived in Hong Kong for 12 years, where I was in banking industry and then moved to consultancy business. However, now I'm based in Malaysia. I'm graduate of one of the early batches, and since then, it has progressed and flourished in leaps and bounds. Sukkur IB University is very special to me, as this is not only my university, but also my first step in professional career when I served there as a lecturer for 3 years. Quality education has always been a trademark, which is in line with the international standards and requirements of today's world. Success comes from within, your hard work and determination. However, Sukkur IB University does provide that environment and spark where you think big and materialize your dreams to be successful. I'm confident and wish from bottom of my heart that Sukkur IB University will continue its successful journey in the coming years. Thank you
For
very much.
an employer like ourselves, for an entrepreneur like myself, Sukkur IBA University has really proved to be a big blessing. We have been hiring Sukkur IBA University's graduates since 2010, so now it has been 10 years, and during these 10 years we have hired from different disciplines, majorly from the business administration, sales and marketing, also from the discipline. Before the advent of Sukkur IBA onto the scene, it was very difficult for us to hire talent from our own area, since most of the students in their student lives went away to the bigger cities and we were left with a great void, and consequently we had a lot of problems to fill up our ranks with young talent. In a nutshell, we would want our new inductees in our company to be people friendly, who can interact quickly, and since we are a retail organization, so it's paramount, it is of paramount importance for us. So we look for young people with the skill set of personal interaction and friendliness, and also obviously the skills needed to do the real job at the office sites, all the analysis, marketing tools, and you know, what a good professional education can provide. So I would say that we've been very lucky that we've been hiring since last 10 years from Sukkur IBA University, and I cannot express it in more words that the talent that we have retained from Sukkur IBA University up until now has been up to the mark in terms of skill set.
Now there's a small tip of advice that I'd like to give to the young graduates, which is that they should be always looking for the bigger purpose in life. I'd like to commend the IBA management for doing a phenomenal job in the sector, which is, you know, the rural area. IBA has been very, very promising institute. I would suggest and I would recommend all the graduates who really want to pursue their MBAs that they should really consider this institute as one of the prime promising institutes in Pakistan. So good luck to you, and thank you very much.